Product images are extremely important for your e-commerce store and marketing campaigns, but trying to get your product images right can be a little bit tricky, and a lot of the time it has to do with the backgrounds you use. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can design beautiful backgrounds to make your product images pop. We're going to be doing this using Glorify, so if you don't have an account already, click the link in the description to sign up for free and come back to this video and follow along with me. Alright, so as you can see, we're inside of Glorify and this is an empty page. We're going to draw our first canvas by going to the bottom left tools and selecting the canvas tool over here. We'll go ahead and then draw it, and then we'll go to browse sizes and choose hero image and click resize. There we go. So that's the size we want. And in this video, I want to use a example product. I'd like to use Shargeek. They're an awesome electronics brand. Let's go check out their products, and they've got this product here, which is called the Storm. I think this one's really awesome. So let's see if we can grab this product image by clicking it and clicking copy image. And we'll go ahead and paste it. So they do things like power banks and chargers and things like that in a very exquisite and unique design. Great. Okay, so the background is already removed in this product image, which saves us a lot of trouble. Now, immediately from here, we can try different and test different design options for the background, whether you're going to run it as an ad or you're going to put it on your e-commerce store, it doesn't matter. But when I've got a product like this, what I'd like to always do is first duplicate the white background version so that we can always kind of compare it with your different alterations, right? So we'll do one with a black background, a bit similar to what they already have on their site. So that's that. Let's take the white one and let's in fact add a drop shadow. So we'll go to drop shadow and go on the y-axis lower and increase that blur so to make it pop. Always recommend doing drop shadows on white product images, even if it's just very subtle, because it truly gives that a little bit of lift, which is appealing to the eye. It feels almost tangible, like you can grab it, right? All right, so there's my two product images. Let's go and start to get a bit more wild now. So next one, I want to try a gradient. So I'm going to go here, click the gradient toggle. And as you can see, we've got this radial gradient. We'll switch it to linear. And let's try different options. So we'll click this, and I don't know what I'm doing here. This is the first time I'm trying this. We'll click the other side and try the gray. Oops, sorry, I didn't necessarily click it. So I have to click it on the slider itself. So make sure you click it on the slider, which is my mistake. And we'll select the color over here. So trying to find matching colors over here, but it's not so successful, unfortunately. Let's see if we can darken these colors a bit more. There we go. A little bit of that fade is not too bad now that I see it. But I think it just needs a bit more finessing. I think we need the color to be a bit more vibrant, in fact. So let's try and yeah, push it on the vibrant side of the spectrum to make the saturation of that color more pop and deeper. And it looks a little bit better. So that's very interesting. That concept doesn't look as boring and flat as the first one. Although at least this one does quite pop as well. So it just really depends on your choice, right? Let's go and try some remixed versions of this, but I'll go ahead and pick the color and again, try a yellow this time from the brand itself. It's not really working, is it? This looks a bit too overpowering. So let's see if we can finesse this a little bit. I'll go to the yellow and make it fade a little bit. So it's a lot more subtle. And we'll bring the black to start right here. So it's more of like a glow. There we go. It's got a nice little glow there, and that's interesting. What's happening there? You can try different blurs like that. And in fact, we can even add a circle here and kind of go with the same technique. So here I'll go back, gradient. We'll pick the first slider and make that the yellow that I was using. I mean the black, and the second slider, the outward one, the yellow. And yeah, let's see if we can. Actually, sorry, I need to trade that off. So let's try and push it over the other side. There we go. That's better. That's what I wanted. This little radial gradient thing. And let's try and see if we can. Sort of like a studio vibe. You're getting this little glow and subtle glow, which is interesting, definitely. And you can play around with this more. You know, you can try other different versions of this blur, for example. I think one thing that this is missing is we need to make the outward one yellow and fully transparent, because that will give you a bit more flexibility. For example, now you can see it interacting with the one on the top, which is what I was trying to do. And yeah, let's try and do something here. So if we just push this down, you can have more glows, for example. Things like that. And then you can go to the transparency and just, you know, soften it up so that it's not overbearing. Try another one as well. And then increase this one a bit more. And in fact, you can make it even more brighter. So let's try that. This one a bit brighter. Another one down here. So this kind of organic feel of the sort of light bouncing in this studio kind of environment. You can play around with that as much as you like. Now, the interesting thing is that when you have concepts like this, you could duplicate it and go to our color tools. Let's go to tools and then color palettes and try remixing some of these colors, and you'll be surprised what kind of results you can get, right? So here's a couple of results from this one. Let's try another color. So this one's not really functional. Let's try this one. Let's go for some of these monochromatic ones. Orange, Yeah, this gray is looking cool. Very subtle. The blue. What's interesting. So you can see lots of different options popping out now. Let's try a couple other ones. All right, let's go and find some other textures that we can use. So we'll go into basic and images. Let's try in the pixels library. We'll go ahead and type texture. And let's try something that's a bit rugged. Probably like this. There we go. So you can right click this and scale it up and set as background if you want. And there's the texture. Now we're going to edit this. So we'll go to edit. I think the first thing we got to do is reduce the opacity all the way down. It just has to be very subtle in these cases. Otherwise it'll be way too overpowering. And I think what we could also do is add a little bit of noise. And yeah, and then we can rotate it as well a little bit. So let's try. There you go. So that one's interesting. Again, very subtle. All right, so I'm going to try another different one. I'm going to try to enhance this even further. If you go back to your libraries and if you go to the bottom, you'll find under elements, we have something called effects. And in the effects, you got all these different textures. So let's try and see if we can utilize one of these textures. Let's try to go more grungy. So this brushstroke kind of thing over here. And I'm going to rotate it. Send it to back. And we're going to use color overlay to give it a color. And let's pick the bright yellow from the brand itself, right? So I'm not sure if it's going to, feel on brand, but in any case, it's very interesting to see how you can use graphical elements to interact with your products. And in many cases, it can definitely enhance your product image by a huge fold, right? So let's try some other versions of this. So we'll do something like that. There we go. And then scale that up. So it's kind of laying on it. There we go. Versions like that. Let's try a more grungier one. I think we've got some textures like dirt and stuff like that. Let's try and enhance it even more. Boom. This might look pretty cool. So, I mean, Storm, this product, by the way, is called Storm. So I like how these elements, make it feel like it's, weathering the storm that's, trying to destroy it, right? But it's so powerful and strong that nothing can stop it. So yeah, amazing product, of course, and it deserves this kind of visual aesthetic to show its power. So another way to kind of use textures. I'm going to do one more with a video background this time. So let's try pick something cool. Pixabay videos, and we'll find a pattern. Right, so there's different patterns over here, as you can see from the Pexels video library. I think I want to try something like this one over here. Looks like electronic sort of graphical element. Looks very ethereal and feels like an electronic wave as such. So let's upload that. Okay, I've got my video on the canvas. So I'm going to increase the size. It's very ethereal and sort of electronic-esque. Send it to background. I don't think I need these dirt particles anymore. Stick this to the video background and that'll do. We'll center this image. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and open the timeline editor at the bottom left corner. And as you can see, the timeline editor opens up. You can now use space drag to the palm tool to get position. The video will hit play. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? Super simple, but works, right? And I can't wait, of course, till we have more adjustments on video like saturation and things like that. Right now, we just have blending option, which is quite limited, but very soon, stay tuned, we'll be able to add further effects. But again, you can see this product video is definitely ready to go. It's almost like an enhanced product image by using a video background. Be great for your ads or even to list it on your e-commerce store as sort of the top fold, right? I think it'll look really, really cool. So that's it for this tutorial. Make sure you take advantage of this technique to make your product images truly stand out and to keep up with the best practices on creating beautiful product images in e-commerce store. I've got a couple of other recommendations that you might dig, so do check them out. For now, that's it. Take care.